So today is part 3 of the paid real estate ads math series. Final will be part 4 next week. We're going to talk today about Thomas Edison's views on paid traffic and why the database that you've built from your paid ad efforts may be worth more than you think. So we're covering why every dollar spent on paid traffic is research, the Thomas Edison theory, why paid traffic needs time and consistency. It can't be rushed as much as you may want to. And why your database is always a hidden asset, whether you're running paid traffic or not.
Build your dream today. We show you the way. Luxury leads come to play. New homes here to stay. Marketing's our game. Elevate your name. Reach for the fame. Never just the same. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains.
So today is August 5th, 2026, and this is the Midweek Tune-Up, the weekly new construction conversation. So here's how these calls work. The Midweek Tune-Up is the what? It's a one-way conversation. We tell you what to do and what's working. The how, the interactive two-way conversation, is the New Home Marketing Insider. That's what to do, how to do it, support QA, community, and monthly virtual training and resources for members. So if you're new and you've never been on one of these calls, or you're not sure who I am, or a native he pops on, we're the founders of the Iconic Agent. We've been helping agents attract buyers and sell more new construction since 2017 to the tune of over, it's closer to about $500 million in additional new construction and luxury new construction sales since 2020. So if you listen to any of these episodes, there's zero gatekeeping. We're telling you what we're doing. It's just a matter of whether you, the agent, go do it. To get the archives and resources, listen and watch previous episodes, or if you happen to miss one of these live and you want to catch it, head on over to theIconicAgent.com/tune-up. Every episode, you get the mind map structure of exactly what we talked about, and you get the infographic so you can take something tangible, you have a deliverable, you can go do it. The whole purpose of us sharing this information is to inform agents. These are the things that you can do that work. These are the things to consider. Go do them. If you have questions, there's two options that you have. You can wait and join the free monthly AMA coaching and support call at the end. It's the last Tuesday of every month from 6 p.m. usually till about 7:30 or 8 p.m. Eastern. Take an hour off of that for Central. Or you can ask now in the New Home Marketing Insider, where you have 24/7 access to questions, answers, coaching, case studies, training, resources, and tools. You can access that at theIconicAgent.com/insider. And an announcement, if you are in Atlanta, I am back in the A. We are starting to do lunch and learns as well as coffee conversations and some right now monthly, maybe bi-monthly workshops. We have one coming up on the 13th. It's the AI Marketing Foundations. If you've watched any of our previous trainings, our foundations is not the foundations you think about. 90% of agents aren't doing what we're going to talk about here, but it's literally the foundation. So it's very intimate. We only have a few spots. If you go to theIconicAgent.com/foundations, you can apply and register. It is not free. It is might as well be free, but it is not free. And it is a workshop. So it's not a lecture. It's not one of these. We're going to sit down. We're actually going to build out your buyer intelligence blueprint live. So head on over to theIconicAgent.com/foundations, and we will be doing those at least monthly. All right. So to today's topic, most agents judge their paid traffic too early. They spend money, they get leads, they might close a deal or two. Then they decide the campaign really didn't work or didn't fail or didn't perform the way they thought it was supposed to, so they give it up. But that is just the first layer, which way too many agents overlook. I'll give you a couple stories recently of what I've seen that when you look at and shift perspective to really see if a campaign is working. So here's the beliefs. These are old beliefs. After you watch this, these aren't going to be your beliefs anymore. I spend money. I only got one or two people that bought. Campaign's not really functioning how I want it to. Number two, I spent money and got a bunch of leads, but no buyers. So campaign didn't work. I'm going to go on to something else. Typical. But this is what I want you to consider. This is the new belief. The first leads or the first deal, well, actually, the first deal will pay for your campaign. The database that you built is where the long-term profit comes from. It's great for the right now money, but the long-term money is really what makes everything work. And here's the shift. This is Thomas Edison's view on paid traffic. I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That is the mindset that you have to go into when you're running paid traffic. So let me hop on camera here. And now we are going to go through these specifics. So starting off, when you're running paid ads and you've ran paid ads, the first thing you want to do is ask. You want to ask yourself as you're running it, say you got a deal, you got leads, whatever the case may be. It has to be running for a point where you're willing to make a decision or you're considering making a decision. Ask yourself, what did I learn? Did it work? Why stop if it's working? So for instance, I was talking to a gentleman last week. He was running Facebook ads for new construction. Cool. He got something working. He had something dialed in. It was lower price points. It was, $300, $250, $300, $400,000, but there's a lot of incentives. So he was focusing on the incentives to run the ads through whatever funnel he was doing. And I was like, oh, you got Facebook working. Cool. That's great. I know it works. We start with Google because of the intent. That's next week. But he stopped the campaign. And I asked him, I said, well, why'd you stop? Well, he was like, my campaign, I was getting like $20 or $25 per lead, which that would scare some people. Watch last week's part 2 to eliminate that fear. But he said the lead cost was $20 to $25, and he got like, I want to say he did about 4 deals from it. Don't know how many total leads he had, but he said he did 4 deals, $20, $25, but the lead cost went up to $35 to $45. And I said, okay. And I asked how much he invested, and he invested about three, 2 to 3,000. I wrote it down. I have in front of me right now. I said, okay. And he netted about 4,000. And I'm like, why stop if it's working? Your lead cost went up. Big deal. It's working. You still have an ROI. I'm not going to go into that here because we talked about that last week, but that's how you have to look at your paid ad campaigns. Did it work? Why stop if it's working? If it's bringing back negative returns, cool. But there's nothing that you're going to do or nothing you're going to invest in. Again, this is last week, that is going to get you a bigger return than your paid ads when you do that properly. So you also want to ask yourself, what did I notice from the conversations that I had or the replies? And am I following up consistently? And that's going to be part 3. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But these are the questions that you want to ask. So if you spent money and you learned nothing, that is the problem. Let me say that again. If you've spent money, you've invested money in paid ads and you're running it and you learn, that is the problem. You have to ask yourself these questions because you can miss some key factors. We've got a guy that I'm working with. I'm actually working with closer. He was one of the last accelerators where there was some disconnect up front, figured some things out, kind of went against the grain of what we initially instructed, changed it up, started getting things going, and it's working, but it's not working how it should be. And the consistency, he's trusting the process, number one, and he's being consistent. So now I'm gonna have a little more hands-on to see like what can we do to really get this moving. But if you just quit, you just stop, you made the sales and moved on to something else, or you got the data and then you ran away. Not the best idea. Number 2, when you're running paid ads, you have to be consistent. So this is one of the main things, and I've heard this from agents a lot. I understand, but it's not ideal. I had to shut it off because I had something else to pay for or whatever. You got to be consistent with paid ads. If you want the result, you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get the result. Just think of anything that you have expected a result and you weren't consistent with it, you didn't get the result. So if you want the result, you got to be consistent. Consistency doesn't mean $1,000 a month. Consistency means consistent. So don't start if you can't keep going. Wait until you can. Even if you're only investing $150 a month, keep it going. Don't stop. Smaller budgets, work with smaller budgets. Now I say 150, and that might not seem like a lot, but when we teach our new construction marketing mastery training, when we do the in-person events, when we do our new construction buyer attraction elite accelerator, we always tell the agents to start off with $150. 2 reasons. 1, if you spend more than that and you're not focused on the campaign, you're going to get a bunch of data. You're going to be wasting ad spend because you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is a lot. So we start off low and slow so they can get used to understanding the process and the optimization of what they need to do. And then, of course, we encourage you to raise it. Now we do 150 times 2. We set an in-state campaign, which is wholly for your in-state buyers. Then we exclude them and we do an out-of-state campaign, which is for your all out-of-state buyers. So it's really 300, but if you had to pick one in-state, out-of-state, do 150. Just run it. Let it run. Forget about it. Treat it like you treat your phone bill. Just keep paying for it because it's going to bring back to the first point. Number 1, it's going to bring back data that you can look at, but you can start small. Or again, consistency doesn't mean $1,000 a month. Consistency means $150 a month. So based on that $300 that I mentioned a month, in-state, out-of-state, I've got a partner not quite ready to go yet. It's a buddy of mine, free. It's not quite ready to go yet, but every transaction he gets, he's pulling money out of that. So he has 6 months of ad spend. So probably September, October, he'll have about $2,400 that he's saved out of his deals, or $3,000, and that's going to be put in the account. Now he's got 6 months of ad spend. That 6 months of ad spend, remember last week we talked about how to determine the commission breakdown, or how to determine your ad spend. A simple way, take the commission you're expecting and divide it by 3 or 4. His average price point's about $1,500. So if you divide that by 3, that is 5,000 divided by 4. You're sitting, his $3,000 should be suitable, but he's waiting to save it and put it away. He forgot about it. And then once he's running it, he forgot about it. There'll be a card tied to it. But now he's got a consistent 6 months. Once he gets a deal in, he's going to drop that back in there. Now he's got to perpetually run it. But he consistently put money out aside to do that. If you have to do that, do that. But if you're going to invest, say he invests $4,000, $34,000, and makes $15,000. The reality is, if you don't invest that $4,000, you're not going to get the 15. It's not it's going to work in 2000 and then it doesn't. And then you're like, oh, you'll never get to the goal if you're not consistent. So I'm going to beat it into your head. You got to be consistent. Now, as you're running all of that information, as you're running all those ads, it's great. It's less scary when it's funded intentionally. So if you're funding it intentionally, meaning like Free's doing, I'm taking $300 to $400, or it might be a percentage. I'm not sure how he's doing. I just told him, whatever you're selling, because you're selling consistently, take something out, put it in a bank account, and he also, because he's explained, he's budgeting with his wife. He explained to his wife, this is what's going on. He's got kids, he's got a whole family. They have investments in the whole nine. So he's moving money around, doing what grown folk do, adulting, and he's putting money aside for it. When you're intentional with it, it's less scary. It's like a Christmas fund. If you've ever done a Christmas fund, this money's for Christmas presents. Well, this money's for ad spend, and it's sitting over there. It's allocated. Everything else is taken care of. I'm not spending this on anything else but ad spend. Now he's got a consistent 6 months. I'm going to work with him personally. He'll turn that into 15, 30 grand easy and continue going. But that's also the problem that most agents run into. The reality, this is number 3, the reality of online lead generation, unless you are a Superman, Guru, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Ninja, throw some Black Panther in there too, you are not going to convert maybe 93, or not, actually, between 93 and 98% of the traffic that you generate and the leads that come in aren't going to buy right away. Meaning you're only going to convert maximum 7%. The average agent, most agents, and we've worked with thousands. I've seen a few that were in like 12%, and I was thoroughly impressed, and I still don't know what they did. But you're not going to convert more than 5 to 7% of all those people that come in. So think about that. Let's just say we're going to go basic. We're not even going to say basic is 1%. You got 100 people come in. You close 1. You made an ROI. You made stupid ROI. If you watched last week, ROI is 300. We've seen 300% to 3,500 plus percent. We've seen higher than 3,500, but y'all would call bull, and it's unbelievable. So I'm not even going to mention what we've seen. Now, there's not consistently. There's a lot of factors in there, but the minimum, the worst ROI we've seen was our own campaigns at 300%, which it's amazing how we've created this whole process and been running this, and we've got some of the worst results. But that goes back to the first part, which was, what did you learn? We saw what didn't work. We learned, we adjusted, and we moved to the next one. Now, since you're only going to convert 1 to 7%, and you'll have a crazy ROI from that if you're picking the right price points. Remember, we're not buying leads, we're buying customers. So we want to buy the most expensive customers we can so we get the most ROI. But you don't want to let that win excite you. Let's say you get 1,000% ROI. Oh, that's great. We've had people that got 1,000% ROI and they're like, well, I only closed 2 people out of the 100. This ain't working. I'll go find something else. And then they never find anything else that's working, because you will not get a better result than that. You have to think about this. If you put in $5,000 and you get 15,000 out, tell me where else you can do that selling real estate. Where other investment can you do that? You have to look at it from a numbers perspective. And it also amazes me how agents are they work with investors, but you have to have that investor mentality when you're going into paying for ads. So the biggest problem is when agents win, when they get that win, they get excited. That's the biggest problem. Here's why. Let's say you take $7,000 to $10,000 over whatever time. Let's say it's a year. You got two deals, $15,000 a piece. That's $30,000. 7 to 10 in, 30 out. That is a solid ROI. Great. Let's dissect that. Let's say you have, let's use round numbers, 200 leads. So you 200 leads, you spent 10 grand, you made 30 grand. Winning. Most agents are only looking at that next 200. So if we invest and we get the next 200, we should have two more leads. That's another $10,000. That's another $10,000 out, another 30 in. So we spent 20, we made 60. Winning. Most agents only look at that. Wise agents, iconic agents, do this. They look at the 200 leads that came in and the $10,000 they invested and the $30,000 they make, and they go do it again. They drop another $10,000 because numbers don't lie. Get about another 200 leads and another $30,000, and they make that $20,000 investment, 400 leads, $60,000. Whoop, whoop. And they look at how to give value and convert for more sales, referrals, or both. Remember, we got two deals out of each one. So now there's what, 400. We got 6. Okay, so we got 396 leads. They're now looking at how do I provide value to them to generate more sales and more referrals from those 396 while I'm going for that next 200 and dropping that next 10,000. So the next go around, we've got another two deals coming through because we dropped $10,000 and we put in, we're expecting out 30,000. But now we've got two people that came in 18 months ago ready to buy. So now we got four deals for that same amount. That is where you want to get to thinking. So that database, that pipeline that you're spending money on, that you actually should be investing money on, needs to be followed up. I've said this a lot, and we say this a lot, be your pipeline's dream board. You have to watch an old episode to understand that. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater like most agents when you're doing paid ads. Iconic agents that win with paid ads, they don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. They nurture that baby and raise them. So what does that mean? Don't just look at the money that's coming in, the right now money. Look at the long term and follow up and nurture those leads because there's way more there than there is on the front end. But you can't see it unless you go do it. The database, your pipeline is what keeps paying you while you're consistently building. When you look at agents that, and especially in these times now, there's agents that are struggling. There's agents that are maybe business dipped a little bit or business even better. And what you're going to notice the difference is the agents that are still moving and aligned, they have a pipeline, but a pipeline isn't just built. You have to consistently build it. All right, so we're at the top of the hour, and I have a very important call that I need to get on with some international new construction, which is exciting. Some luxury international new construction. But before we go, next week is part 4 and the finale of this 4-part series. So we're going to connect all the dots and talk about platform conversion. Once you know your numbers, once you understand what your buyer is worth, and once you understand the long-term value of the database, the next question is simple. Where should you start buying traffic in the first place? That's what we're going to talk about next week. So for the resources for this conversation, If you have questions and answers around this, join the New Home Marketing Insiders. We'll give you the exact strategy, training, resources, and guidance exclusive. All of this is exclusive to New Home Marketing Insiders. So if you have any questions on this and you want a breakdown or the math or calculators around that, head on over to the New Home Marketing Insiders. We'll give you the step-by-step, go deeper inside the New Home Marketing Insiders community. Go to theIconicAgent.com/insider or scan this QR code, and we will be back next week for another one.
Digital wave we ride, strategies we provide. No need to hide, success is on your side. Close deals like a pro, watch your profits grow. High standards we show.